Great.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Zen. I'm really excited to be hosting Health is Wealth, another episode with you guys. Today, we have a special edition, part of Hugetits Crypto. We have the team leaders. We have one of the community leaders, King Jedi, with us, part of the Hugetits Crypto. He's representing Hugetits Crypto team because they just nominated a nonprofit organization to run the charity for the Hugetits Crypto Fund. We have about, King Jedi? We have 10% that's going to be locked up in the Hugetits tokenomics that's going to be designated to a charity. And we voted as a team leader. If you're not on the Telegram, you got to join the Telegram if you want your voice to be heard. We voted on Free the Tatas to be the charity that we want to get behind in the Hugetits movement. So I'm going to let them explain. We have Barbara with us. We have Amanda with us. This is going to be an awesome episode. I'm going to sit back and listen to the information they have because we were talking offline and they were blowing my mind. So what is it that you guys do? And you want to start, let's start off with a little bit about both of yourselves first. So Barbara, you want to go first?
Sure.
Give us a little bit of a background.
So I grew up in New York City, and I was modeling for 20 years. So that led me into health, wellness, taking care of my body. I never dived into the whole, party scene and drugs. I always wanted to be professional and get what I can out of the industry and move on to bigger, better things. And I have 20 years experience background, and that led me to health and taking care of my temple. And I've traveled the world. I've met so many beautiful people along the way. And it's just expanded my relationships in every way with Mother Nature, friendships, love, what's important in life. I, made a decent amount of money to move on to other workspaces such as real estate. Expanded my my mind there in real estate. I opened up a restaurant. I opened up a nightclub. I've done so much, and that led me to open the doors to so much. And I ended up living in California now. I'm living in Malibu, and I'm married. I have a son, and here we are.
Awesome. Amanda?
And Barbara and I should say, met in workout class. Very fitting because I too have always been avid about working out and taking care of myself. It's a passion of mine. I found myself working in plastic surgery of all things, never planned on it. I got breast implants, interestingly enough, for a condition I had back in 2003. And I went into it with great intentions. I grew up being a dancer and was always very physically fit, and thought, well, I want other women to feel great about themselves. So I'm going to start working in plastic surgery. And, it was during the time, interestingly enough, that silicone implants had been banned from the market. And ironically, there are a lot of ironies in my story. I received the first implants back on the market, these new silicone ones that I had been told were now new and improved and safe, and that the ruptures were the problem, and that they had now made them new and improved, and that this couldn't happen. And we're now finding out that really that was probably part of the problem, but it was actually something called breast implant illness that a lot of these women back in the 90s had. And so I was supposed to be part of the study since these were new to the market. I never was part of that study. If I had been, we would have seen that I actually started having hormonal problems from the get-go. I was going to my gynecologist saying something's not right. I'm having symptoms related to someone in perimenopause would have, and I was only in my 20s. But they dismissed me. They kept saying, oh, well, that's normal for you. And I kept saying, no, that's not normal. That's why I'm here. So some years later in 2012, after a minor fender bender, all of the symptoms started. And that's very typical, because any physical or emotional stress to the body, as we know, will continue to deplete your immune system. And when you have a foreign object in the body, your immune system starts attacking it. It's doing its job as it should. And so it can't do its job with the rest of your body. So that's when, it starts deteriorating. I was getting Epstein-Barr virus and shingles at an early age. And so everything started happening. My hair started falling out. My vision started going blurry. I basically had 38 symptoms on the list. I went from being the healthiest person, like Barbara was saying, like I've always taken pretty great care of myself, to now it's like I felt like I was 100 years old. It didn't make any sense. And I saw 67 doctors in those 7 years. I spent $300,000 out of pocket. And so no one seemed to be helping me. It was a very odd experience. They dismissed me. They said that I must have anxiety. They didn't seem very concerned, and I was kind of pleading for help. So I decided to learn everything I could about the human body. I went back to school. I learned from German doctors. I learned from the best. And I thought, well, if nobody's going to help me, I'm going to do everything I can to save my life. So I finally figured it out, even though I was working in plastic surgery that entire time. And that's kind of the irony. It was literally under my nose the entire time, and I had no clue. In fact, when Crystal Hefner came out in 2017, I said to my boss at the time, I said, this woman, she sounds just like me. Is that what's wrong? And he looked at me, and by the way, he was a breast surgeon. That was the crux of our business. And so I thought, if anyone would know, he would. And I thought he cared about me. I thought that he had my best interests at heart. And he said, no, he said, she sounds like a crazy person, and there is no illness associated with breast implants, which is a bull-faced lie. I mean, any doctor knows about what happened in the 90s. I, though, would have been really kind of too young to have known much about it. And, I should have done some research right there and then, but I trusted my surgeon. So I didn't look into it. That was the summer of 2017. And that cost me another 1.5 years. But then, as luck would have it, I went for a colonic in Santa Monica, just a random appointment. And I mentioned to the woman that I hadn't been feeling well. I didn't really get into details. I just said a few things, but she was very intuitive. And at the end of my appointment, she said, I think I know what's wrong. And I said, oh, okay, what do you think? And she said, I think it's your breast implants. And I was, I think, definitely in denial. I said, oh, did you see what I do for a living on the paperwork? And she said, yeah. But she was so matter of fact about it. And she said, but I've had 11 other clients lay here, and they sound just like you. And when they get their breast implants out, they get better. And so I left, and I wasn't convinced, but it was interesting. Every day after that, there was some sort of sign. And I feel like that was God trying to tell me. It was either a billboard or something in my face that I just couldn't ignore. A call from a friend who said, how are you? And I said, oh, I'm, not feeling well. And he said, you should call my neighbor. She sounds just like you. And so I did. I called a stranger that I didn't even know. And she said, I think it's your breast implants. I had the same illness. So anyway, I got into a Facebook group. I didn't even know that there are these kind of underground Facebook groups, support groups. This one particular one having like 150,000 women in one group all discussing this illness. And they sounded just like me. Just everything they said. I feel like I'm dying. My hair's falling out. I can't see. And I just thought, have I entered the twilight zone? because like I said, working in plastic surgery, I hadn't had any women coming into our office in any of the offices I worked in. And this was Beverly Hills. This is the cosmetic capital of the world, complaining of these symptoms. So I started making appointments, again, thinking I'm going to be welcomed with open arms by these surgeons. You know, oh, you're one of us. Let us help you. You figured it out. Let's get these out of you. Because it was resonating with me. I finally felt like, you know, I've tried everything else. It's been 7 years. And 7 years when you're chronically ill is a long time, every day. And so I had tried everything. It was just getting worse and worse and worse. And I had gained 58 pounds of inflammation, which is really scary because that's your body's way of like red flag, something's really wrong. And so, but it was so odd. The 3 surgeons I consulted with initially, they were just like that old boss of mine. They looked me in the eye and they said, this is not real. These women, this is a social media thing. These women are crazy. Everyone likes to say crazy. And, you know, I think now kind of with what's going on in the world, we hear that a lot. And I now associate when someone says someone's crazy, I kind of think they're usually telling the truth. So I just remember looking at them, and I feel like that's when I kind of broke out of the indoctrination of the medical industry. And I have to say again, that could have only really been God. I don't know how else or what was guiding me that day, but I looked at each of them and I just said, you know, I was just in a group with 150,000 other women. I'm going to go with what they're saying, not with what a medical doctor is saying, because you're not making any sense. Of course, what they're saying makes sense to me and it's resonating with me. And I'm willing to try this and see if this is it. And when that didn't work, it was like, then they upped the ante. And then they said, oh, well, if we don't put another implant in, then you're going to be deformed. Like, it was really mentally anguishing for me. And they were really kind of taking away this glimmer of hope that I was having. And it was like, and even one said, he said, I'm not going to take them out because that's not what the issue is. And so you're fine. And I was having to argue with him. I said, but I want you to take them out. So it was very odd. So I did something that I have never done before. I went home, and I've always loved God. I've always felt like I had a relationship with God, but I had never prayed before because in my mind, I didn't understand prayer. I thought that praying was something you did when you wanted something. And so I had it all wrong. And I thought, well, I'm just going to pray for like when my family's sick or a family member needs something. And so I'm going to save those prayers. And I realized like I was on my knees, you know, I needed it this time. And so I prayed and I said, God, if you show me the way to a surgeon who will take these out, I am going to just put all of my faith in you, that I bet it will even look great too. And I don't even know why I said that, because honestly, when you are that sick, all I can say is, and having worked in the beauty industry for 20 years, and you know, we all care about what we look like, of course, vanity goes out the window. I didn't care. I just wanted to be saved. And so I didn't care what it looked like, but for some reason I did say that. I said, oh, I bet it will even look great too. So maybe it was a day, 2 days later, I took a chance. I Googled one more time and I Googled explant surgeon Beverly Hills, and Dr. Kevin Brenner popped up. And I didn't know him. I had never worked for him, but he seemed familiar. And I just thought, this is it. I'm going to take a chance and go to one more surgeon. And I went and I told him the same story I told the others. And his response was completely different. he said, Amanda, I think it's time that we take these out and we leave them out. And I was stunned because after seeing 67 doctors and nobody listening to me or acknowledging me in 7 years, it was kind of like somebody throwing you a life preserver. Like you just can't even believe it. Or like you being kidnapped and like somebody finally finding you. Like it's unbelievable. So I just sat there stunned for a moment, but then I said, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. When can you get me in? When can we do this? And he somehow got me in 3 weeks. And it wasn't just him, it was his whole team. I mean, the morning of surgery, they were saying to me, you're gonna get better today. And that was the scariest part. I didn't even care what it was gonna look like. I was thinking, is this even gonna get me better? Because there's so much pressure. And it did. I mean, I immediately felt better. It takes time for your body to heal, obviously. It's been a journey. It took about 2.5, 3 years now, almost 3 years, for me to feel completely better. I would say I've restored my body completely, probably too because of my background now in holistic medicine. I've become a wellness coach. And now I work for Dr. Brenner, who removed mine. And I created the first women's holistic breast team to help heal women. And he and I are one of the only offices in Beverly Hills really speaking out on this subject and helping these women. And, you know, it wasn't enough for me just to explant them. I just really want to see them get better and, you know, get back to their lives and be the best moms and wives and friends again. So.
Well, that's an incredible story. I appreciate you for sharing. And we talk about this all the time. When you're on the right path, one of our favorite books on the show is The Alchemist. I don't know if you read the book The Alchemist, but in that book, it kind of shares that when you're on the path, we call it the golden timeline. When you're on the golden timeline, you start having these synchronicities, and they're kind of like signs along the way that show you're doing the right thing. And another thing we have in common with you is we talk about the metaphor of the phoenix. It seems like, I don't know if I'm projecting, but you had to go through the fire and literally experience all this darkness and get to the other side of the light where you transformed and turned into the phoenix. And now you have the tools and resources to help other people. I wanted to ask you this. So now you're like working with people, and you already answered that. So what is can you tell us more about the Free Tatas project now and your guys' mission and what you're looking to do with the organization that going to be the nonprofit?
Yeah, and so in the last 3 years working with Dr. Brenner and starting this, what I've realized is this is the unfortunate part. Women are now speaking to other women through social media. We've been comparing notes. I think that's probably the difference in why so much awareness has come about. And realizing kind of, you know, it's hard because these symptoms also are symptoms of a lot of other illnesses, right? Your hair could be falling out, you could have thyroid issues, it could be a lot of different things. But if you have enough of these symptoms, you happen to have breast implants, you don't have any other diagnosis that makes sense, things are not getting better, you do get to a point where you think, okay, I'm willing to take a chance and remove them to see if they could get better. It has become quite a movement, I have to say. And so this last October, as you know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And what I noticed was I didn't see a lot of breast cancer awareness as much as I saw breast implant illness awareness. And as you know, breast implants are also used a lot for reconstruction for women who have undergone, for breast cancer, reconstruction, correct? And I saw more and more women say, or at least on my Instagram, the Holistic Beauty Coach, write and say, I have also removed my breast implants because as having cancer in the past, either I was sick from them or I'm just not willing to take a chance getting sick again. And I say, you know, I applaud you because going flat, you know, that takes real courage. And I know if I was faced with that, I obviously would have to do the same. And so I think it's beautiful, like these two worlds should and can come together, and we can just have awareness for breast health in general. And more women are wanting to have a holistic approach to it. I think there should always be a choice, right? Just like for some women, maybe they choose chemo. For women like me who would choose a more holistic route, I think there have to be more choices for us. So I met Barbara, and we both are just very passionate about a lot of social injustices in general. And so we talk about a lot of different things. And so when this opportunity came up, she brought it to my attention, and I just thought, wow, this is so amazing that something like this could just fall into our lap. Would you have the time? Could we really do this together? And she said yes. And so, Barbara.
Here we are.
Here
Here we are.
are.
It's been a long road, but it's waiting, and we're here to help all the women that really need it. And it takes a lot of courage, because as a female, you want to feel beautiful, bodacious, and sexy, and it's hard to really find someone that is on your level of thinking, especially with Dr. Brenner. He's one of the few surgeons in Los Angeles that can help these women and make you look beautiful at the same time. We have plenty of before and afters we can share as well on this podcast, if you like to see pictures. I think they look better after, you know? So yeah, it's really important to bring to light, to take care of your body. Inside is the most important than the outside, because that outside, it's just the material world, basically.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to plug in exactly a little information about the crypto that we're talking about. So this is a special episode brought to you by Hugetits Crypto. So a little bit about Hugetits. The founder completely stepped down, and it's a completely autonomous project ran by the people. It's a community project. And basically, we have a charity token budget that we allocated 6.9 trillion tokens to this project, Free the Tatas. It's going to be awesome. One of the things that they're saying, you got to invest $300,000 to heal. Imagine if we could help tons and tons of women that have had to spend all this money, and now they're out of money. We could basically be like a huge help for them. So we could have a whole fund. You guys are going to decide what you want to do with the fund, but it really depends on the adoption of the more people that contribute to Hugetits by making memes and getting involved in the community, the more valuable this charity basically escrow account is going to be. So if this thing goes to space, this 6.9 trillion tokens is going to be really valuable. So there's a whole team working behind it. It started out as a joke. So that's one of the things that the founder did right in the white paper for us to leave. It started out as a joke, wasn't to be taken serious. It was just like, let me just put something on the XRP ledger. And then what it says is everyone loved it so much, they decided to make it valuable for humanity and make the largest token holder basically designated for charity. King Jedi, can you add more about why we're doing this episode? We also have December 1st. We're going to burn about how much? We're burning a majority of the supply, which will also help raise the value of the token. So this is the campaign, December 1st. Make sure you guys have your Hugetits if you want to be involved in holistic breast awareness and everything that Free the Tatas is doing. But King Jedi, take it away from me right here.
Yeah, so basically on December 1st, we are burning 69% of the tokens and allocating 10% to the charity. So after the burn, that brings it down to like 21 trillion. So essentially the charity escrow is a third of all tokens. And it's scheduled to release 1% of that to the charity every year for 100 years.
So we're revolutionizing the way charities are ran now.
Yeah, it's something that we kind of just stumbled into that's never been done before. We're kind of the tip of the spear when it comes to just making up charity projects, because it started in the Matrix as a joke meme coin like all the rest of them, but it's on the future of digital technology being built on the XRPL. So we can kind of adopt all the new technologies and be ahead of any of the coins on Ethereum network or whatever they're doing. So, and we have the perfect cause. We just randomly and golden timeline like vibes, we got introduced to Amanda and Barbara, and they're already fighting the fight.
What was your guys' impressions when the team hit you up about the huge tits? Were you guys laughing? Like, what was your first impression?
No, I mean, well, Barbara's so cute. It was my birthday, and she calls, and with Barbara's, Amanda, guess what? I've got the best birthday present for you. And I said, okay, she said, but it's not tangible. And you just got to call this guy and talk to him about it because it's a contest. And so we've got to win this. And I said, okay. So it was just funny. And so, no, I thought it was, well, I couldn't believe it really, that it could be so perfect. I kept saying that to Mark. I said,
oh, perfect.
Right?
It was just like, it was just organic, it was the perfect storm.
But it was God. I just thought,
Yeah.
this doesn't just happen. It's just amazing.
That's incredible. Golden timeline. But you know what else is funny about your story? Because what else is common is I'm a numerology guy too. We talk about some rabbit holes on here too, but you said you had 67 visits to different doctors, and 67 equals 13. And we talk about the number 13 all the time because that's a big transformational number. So it's interesting that after you broke the loop of the 67 doctors, which equals 13, you finally had your transformation. So I wanted to share that. We talk about 13 all the time.
I didn't
Wow.
even think about that. That's fascinating. Thank you for pointing that out. Because my birthday is on the 13th, and I think that's such a lucky number.
It is. It's a really powerful number for creation, transformation, also rebirth.
Wow.
Well, and I'm a Scorpio, and Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and that's always a rebirth. So oftentimes you see that with a Scorpio, they'll have a rebirth that transforms them and they find their life's purpose. So
yeah, big things happening for Pluto next year, which is similar to 1776. Pluto was in the same position as it's going to be next year in February. So we are entering like a revolutionary time period. People are having new ideas or thinking of new ways to innovate, new ways to create communities, new ways to everything. We're talking about crypto, doing alternative solutions to money and finances. Over here, we're meeting people finding alternative solutions to breast health. And I'm sure that you've noticed, and Kevin's probably noticed, that every single year, more and more people are looking for alternatives. And now we created an alternative to stupid GoFundMe. We got Hugetits on the XRP ledger, developed by the people for the people, on the greatest technology in the world, the XRP ledger. It's all transparent. You don't have to worry about someone screwing you over because you could check the open source data and you could see everything that's happening. And I could feel that you guys are the perfect people to represent the Hugetits crypto team. I wasn't involved in picking it, but I'm super happy that you guys were the ones selected, and I'm really excited to see what happens. Remember, guys, December 1st, one last recall. December 1st, we're burning most of the tokens, so make sure you get in while you can, because December 1st, once we burn it, we've been waiting for all the people to basically sell their airdrops before we do too much promotion. We want to basically wait for all the weekends to sell. You know, most people can't handle Hugetits. They don't know how to hodl. So what we're going to do is really start pushing things from December 1st onward, continue to have the coolest memes, and Jace from Cosmic Origins also is going to be doing a lot, and a bunch of other cool team people. If you want to get involved, join the Telegram. Where can they find your guys' information for, like, are you guys on social media?
We are. So our Instagram is brand new. We just started it. So Free the Tatas org is Instagram, and the Holistic Beauty Coach as well, if you forget that. And then we'll have Twitter, Barb. You tell them the Twitter.
Yeah, we're gonna start our Twitter. We haven't started it yet, but we're checking the program right now.
Something along those.
You gotta get the tip bot set up on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've shown you the tip bot feature.
Ooh, no. Sounds good though.
Right.
You could send XRP just with one tweet.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
pretty
send
cool.
huge tits with one tweet.
Huge
Okay.
tips through Twitter. You compliment people, send it.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I didn't realize how many words there are for boobs until I.
Well, let me ask you guys this. So if someone's struggling with these issues right now, is this something that can they reach out to you right now? Like, are you guys hoping to have that conversation with people? Like, do you have an email link for people on your social medias?
Oh, absolutely. They can DM me anytime. Like I said, I was so alone in this whole process that I always vowed I'll never let another woman feel like that. So I answer all my DMs. So the Holistic Beauty Coach or free the Tatas org. Or excuse me, is that it? Yeah, we just changed the name. So that's it. Free the Tatas org. Yes.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really excited for you guys. So let's basically finish up here with there's going to be about 1,000 people that probably view this show, maybe even more if we spread this out far and wide, but on average about 1,000 plus, probably a lot more because the Huge Tits community is going to be involved with this one and they're super excited to hear you guys' story. But let's just say hypothetically you had a microphone and there's thousands of people. What would be your message for humanity and what would you share?
It's to all you Babs.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead, Amanda.
I would say, I mean, to all humanity, I want to say, please put your health first. I mean, I hope that if anything, what the last 2 years has taught all of us is to take care of yourselves. I know for me, having gone through what I went through, it really highlighted and illustrated for me that none of us are invincible. And that we should all learn from each other and share information. But when it comes to women's breast health, things are not getting better. I mean, I know that there have been organizations, I won't say which, that have raised money, and I see that there's more breast cancer than ever. There are women who are younger than ever, and breast cancer in women younger is typically more aggressive. And now we've got this issue with the breast implants that's going to be an enormous issue. And there aren't even enough really great, qualified, experienced explant surgeons to help. We're all so booked, and there are just a lot of women just needing help. So I would encourage surgeons to get involved if they would. All of these women need you. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, we're here for all the women out there that they actually have no platform, nowhere to go. If we can speak out on their behalf, and we're here for them 24/7 and raising money for these women that have nothing. Insurance doesn't cover it, doesn't pay for it. We're basically the ones now trying to help all these women that have nowhere to go, no one to turn to. They feel alone. They are in a situation where maybe they don't have the funding, they don't have the doctors, they don't have anything or anyone to turn to, since they are considered, maybe they're crazy if they have gut health. Maybe their brain feels foggy. They have heavy metals. They have lymphoma is caused by this. I have a girlfriend who has lymphoma, and that's caused from breast implants. And she doesn't have the money right now to take them out. So we're here to help. And that's what our purpose is.
And also the manufacturers, they don't have any liability. So there's no class action. So this is not a money motivated thing. It's not like anyone's trying to sue. You can't sue. They protected themselves many years ago. So like I said, these women are in a position where they have the money necessarily to remove them, and it's an expensive procedure. So any little bit helps. And I always saw that in the future. I said, I'm going to figure out a way, we have to get some people women financial help. And Dr. Brenner and I were thinking of creating a fund, and we're like, okay, maybe we can, earn enough money that like once or twice a year we can do a free explant, but like that's not enough. So this is going to be so helpful so we can help more women.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest takeaways from this is that we're better together. Like we're stronger when we're united. Like the Facebook group in the beginning of this episode, how people are able to have a platform where we got together and communicated, and we didn't have to rely on so experts out there. And we don't have to rely on these centralized authority figures. We could actually learn a lot more by coming together and sharing information. That's what we talk a lot about, like sharing information, sharing knowledge. You just came on the show, shared so much information that some people might go, I wonder if they're experiencing some of the symptoms that you have. And that's what's so great about the internet and this revolution that we're going through. This, I really believe in communities in the future, and let's all get together as a community and support this project, because it's going to go to amazing use. Now you guys know the utility behind this. The project, some of the team developers are also working on NFTs, which will go to support the charity fund, correct, King Jedi?
Yeah, sometime in December. We're trying to line it up with the Sologenic Dex releasing their NFT platform. But yeah, those are in development right now, and actually Barb and Amanda are helping with some of the design progress.
So basically the role of the developer team, just so everybody knows the transparent of the roles, is the role of the developer team is just to make sure to stay on top of the memes and to stay on top of all the utility updates, make it stay relevant. Lots of people are doing NFTs, so to stay relevant, we're gonna have NFTs too with huge tits. It's gonna be awesome. The best NFTs in the game, and they're gonna support charities. So more and more use cases are gonna come around. If you want to get involved, join the Telegram. I'll put the link below. And also, if you need to reach out to Barbara and Amanda, I'll have all their information in the descriptions below. But most importantly, this isn't going to be the first episode. I'm sure I'll have them back, and we're going to be basically updating you guys along the whole journey of the creation of Free the Tatas organization. We're going to vlog. You guys are going to vlog the whole journey. We're going to watch it, and we'll probably come back in 3 months and get some updates on all the cool things that you guys are doing to help make the world a better place. That sounds good, guys?
Thank you so much. And if they're more comfortable too, looking directly at my surgeon's website, it's Kevin Brenner, MD. His Instagram too is at Kevin Brenner, MD. Some people are more comfortable just going straight to the doctor's information.
Hit up Kevin. Is he in Beverly Hills too? Yes. 90210. Everyone knows that zip code. Are you, I'm going to be in, Santa Monica is beautiful. It's one of the best. I was just out there a few weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
But all right, guys, peace. Have a good day.
Bye. Thank you.